That goes in the general fund, which means next year when we do a budget, and we do a 2-year budget, the same thing. Well, that extra gets thrown into general fund.
What's that?
And
You have to go to the LB 644.
really can't plan
As of
on
right now,
because
no.
Even though you're saying
I haven't finished
3%,
my
if you
meetings
know
with
that
council
when it
members
comes
yet.
in, it's
No way we-
6 to
Welcome
7.
everybody
But
to the Sarpy
can-
County and Cities Wastewater
thinking,
Agency meeting.
no.
Today's Wednesday, July 26,
doing everything I'm doing.
2023 at 4:01 p.m. Copy of Nebraska Opens Meeting Acts located on the north wall of the agency boardroom. In attendance today, we have 5 mayors and a county commissioner. From Springfield, we have Mayor Roseland. From Gretna, we have Mayor Evans. From La Vista, we have Mayor Kindig. From Bellevue, we have Mayor Hike. And from Papillion, we have Mayor Black. I'm Don Kelly from Sarpy County. Our agency administrator today is Dan Hoynes, and our agency secretary and record keeper is Lisa Hare. We also have some other folks in attendance, but you'll be hearing from them in the meeting, and I'll introduce them then. So let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, any comments from the agency board? Okay, we'll get right into our staff and consulting reports. Consultant reports, starting with our agency administrator, Dan Hoynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. Just a couple brief things today. WIFIA, if we've never talked about that. I think it's going well. When I say we, the agency reps, myself, Adam, Jeff, Lisa, Dan Peckham, Ernst Young, have had 2 meetings since we last met with the county representatives, Mike Rogers, Bill Conley, Nicole Spitzenberger, Scott Bovick. Our goal, and we did accomplish it, was to get consent between the agency and the county on the proposed language in the WIFIA loan, and then Adam actually submitted that to WIFIA a couple of days ago. I think we just met. And I think Lisa's in the process of scheduling, I call it a tri-party meeting with county, WIFIA, agency next week. And so I feel good that the county and the city are on the same, or county and agency are on the same page. And that we'll have all 3 parties hopefully to expedite this sum. The next phase after the term sheet would be the loan agreement. Again, it's frustrated at the pace, but I think it's just we have so many parties. Jeff maybe can address a little bit the impact on Hawkins. I think they're good if we can get this thing wrapped up in September. So it's certainly a target. The other thing is, I believe I briefed you before that there was a delay in our audit that ended last June. It was due December 31st. Some of that was internal on our part. Since we've hired CFO Systems, James Timmerman, and we hired Bergen KDV, Tim Lenz, it's not been a high priority on their list. They're really busy. But I put the stake in the ground here a couple of days ago with the consent of your administrators that we're going to schedule that audit presentation for the August meeting. And we've notified Bergen KDV we're going to do that. James has notified them. But it's requiring more than, it's requiring some gentle pressure aggressively applied. There are no issues that we're aware of. It's just a matter of I guess it's a really good business to be in, the auditing. But that will come up before you either as an accepted audit, or Bergen KDV will come here and tell you why it's not done. So it's out there. So that concludes my report, Mr. Chair, member mayors.
Questions for Dan? Okay, thank you. Introduce our agency project engineer, Mr. Jeff Thompson.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors. Happy to report things are continuing to progress well on the project. Hawkins has all the pumps in, all the electrical wire and whatnot pulled, with the exception of the electrical between the pumps and the electrical building. So they're planning on potentially getting that pulled here in the next couple weeks and then starting to test the pumps. We're going to bring in some large volumes of water and fill up the wet well and set up a recirculation system to be able to put some back pressure and head pressure on those pumps and really start exercising them, making sure everything works. But we don't want to do that until the generator gets installed, because we want to test that at the same time. So hopefully that'll hit the ground here in the next couple of weeks and we'll get that hooked up. They have started final grading the site and are anticipating getting rock down and getting that whole area kind of cleaned up and getting the fencing put up. I did have them put up a sign that designates the location, address, the agency logo on the sign as well. So it should look nice when it's all said and done at the lift station site. As far as Hymas's work on segment 3, they have everything installed from 27th Street all the way down to 60th, and they just started to cross Platteview Road, so they're nearing the end. They got about 1,000 foot of pipe left to put in the ground to get to the lift station itself, and their work will be done. So made very good headway and progress. I'd expected that they'd probably be done by about this time last month. However, we ran into some groundwater issues and some tough soil conditions that slowed them down a little bit from the pace that they were working at before. So they have started pressure testing all of that main as well from our transition structure to 27th Street, and everything's passed and in good working condition and order. So things are shaping up very well on that side of things. They're starting to do some seeding along Platteview Road from 27th to 57th Street. So you'll start to see that all. I mean, most of the grading and shaping's all done, but you'll start to see the matting and the vegetation work go down and things starting to hopefully pop through and start seeing vegetation and hardly know that we were even there here shortly. Excuse me, the Van Kirk team on segment 4 has everything installed from 27th Street down to the railroad tracks at Flatbed, and they have everything installed from the levee, the south side of the levee, all the way down to the other side of the railroad tracks. We're still working through getting the flagging and all the insurance paperwork and everything set up with the railroad to get the boring across the railroad itself, and then the Corps of Engineers has some review. Takes quite some time to get through that process to get the bore underneath the levee system, since it is a certified levee. So some other things we've been working on here, as Dan mentioned, I do have pricing back from Hawkins repricing back for Hawkins for the western segment of work. I'm not in a great position right now to share that. I've had multiple meetings with them to just kind of sort out some of the details. I will tell you that the price has increased some, not significantly, but some. We are working again backwards to try to kind of understand where those cost increases have come. Concrete prices have went up significantly, and so for the most part, from what I'm seeing right now, most of the cost increases are in materials, but want to make sure that we're thorough and have good information to provide the board once we get that. So I got notice from the EPA last week that they plan on making another site visit from Virginia this time. They want to come out and do an American Iron and Steel audit, basically come out, check all of our paperwork, make sure we're following all the federal standards for our iron and steel requirements. I don't expect that we'll see anything negative associated with that, because we've got all the paperwork that I believe we need to be able to meet the requirements of that particular program. And then I've been working with some folks at the state to identify and prioritize some items in the next western segment of work for that $10 million that we were awarded through the governor's budget. So been working with Hawkins on that as well. I've got about $8 million worth of that kind of targeted for long lead time items like generators for the next couple lift stations. Those are about a year out right now, so we want to try to get them ordered. Valves are a pretty lengthy lead time on that. Some of the borings and crossings under some of the roadways that take some time, and we'd rather do in the winter months anyway. We're targeting some of those, so have more to report on that hopefully next month. And then on the CDS grant side of things, $4 million, $3.75 million, $3.8 million. It's been a frustrating process. We've continued to provide the information that they've requested, but they have not actually formally authorized us to apply for the grant yet. So got all the paperwork, and I think everything in order. We're just waiting to hear back on the legal side of things to make sure that we followed all the federal requirements for that. But I think we're shaping up really well to hopefully get that shook loose and get a little more money back in our coffers for cash flow in the project. So with that, I don't have any pretty pictures to show you this month because things are kind of winding down, and looking at dirt and pipe is, once you've seen it once, you've kind of seen it forever. So with that, I'll take any questions you might have.
Questions for Jeff?
Jeff, couple clarifications. When you talk about the updated Hawkins pricing and an increase, we don't anticipate in the $45 million Whitfield loan, the $10 million state aid, we put in a pretty significant contingency. And we're really comfortable that even with the initial prices, that we're going to be okay to move forward. Is that accurate, Jeff?
That's correct. Yeah, thank you for that clarification. Everything that we've got in the budget right now, or the cost that we have, would fit it within the confines of that budget and all the loan and revenues that are needed to pay for that. So,
and when you reference an EPA visit, is that from the original Don Bacon grant that you were talking about at the end?
Nope, this is holistically for the SRF loan. I'm not exactly sure.
The state SRF one, the first
Yeah,
70
correct.
million.
Yeah, for the 70 million, yep, 69.8, yep.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Any other questions?
So what was
One other mea culpa.
what was the deal on that,
Go ahead.
on the congressional earmark money? Did you say
Yeah,
we've got it or we don't?
Well, it's been earmarked. They'd asked us to produce all of our bid documentation for the
Yeah.
construction management process because it's not traditional design bid build competitive bidding as their regulations are set up for. So they've been auditing all of our records to make sure that we fit within the confines of that program or their regulations. And we've gotten to the point where they have all the documents that they need from us. We're just waiting on an interpretation from their legal team. So it's been earmarked. As far as we know, we're going to get it, but until they tell us we can actually apply for it, which again, then I don't know how long and how much paperwork they're going to require for us to apply for it, but yeah.
It was earmarked 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a
reference.
2022 grant.
Yeah.
So we've yet to see a penny of
Your
it.
government at work right there.
Yeah.
I've heard other people from this DS talk about dysfunctional government. I might throw that in there for the next time it comes up. So, and mea culpa, Mulligan here, Mr. Chairman, I forgot to mention the August 17th event that Senator Holcroft requested for the check presentation. Thank you. I think all of the cities represented. I know a couple of you had some conflicts, but you have some pinch hitters coming in for you. But I think the county and all 5 cities are represented on the 17th. Lisa should maybe tomorrow finalize the attendee list and send it over to Tim Gay's office. So appreciate you clearing your calendars or designating someone from your city to be there.
Who did I designate?
I'm not sure. Lisa?
I'd have to
Joe,
look at
were
my
you
list.
designated?
Joe might know.
He might be. We'll get a little bit of person there.
Reach out, 'cause
Okay.
I do have a commitment. I've got work commitment. I
Yep.
can't get out of it.
I think we said La Vista TBD. TBD.
What?
I think we said La Vista to be determined.
So we still got the spare
We still
chair.
need
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Stay in the bullpen, Joe.
Passing up on that dinner at McDonald's? Oh, I can't believe that. No. I hear you. It's big. It's a time sink, but, all right, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Next report's from Adam Charlson, our agency legal counsel.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly. And to add on what we just talked about on that CDS grant, this, we've been told the first time the federal EPA has seen a CMAR under this program. So as of everything else on this project, it's an issue of first impression, so they are taking a very long time to go through it. So we had to have an education call or two with them to just explain how that works. So as Dan alluded to, with you, hopefully we're near the end of the term sheet process and we'll be getting a loan agreement, and we'll push like heck to get this done next month, maybe September at the latest. So more on that, and obviously your teams will be briefed and updated throughout. Growth management plan exceptions, we have a few of those come through lately, and we'll be seeing more of those. Actually, hopefully not see as many as we, since we updated our policies to include some of the common requests. Land rights, we'll cover some of that later. today, but we are almost near the end. Or we have a couple left. So good progress there, and hopefully we can stop having land rights discussions. And then last piece, just help Jeff whenever I can on the million balls that are in his court right now, especially on the funding side. So happy to answer or address any questions you have.
Questions for Adam? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the consent agenda. I'm just going to go ahead and make a motion to move the claims report to the regular agenda. Could I get a second for that?
Second.
Okay, a motion by Sarpy, second by Papillion to approve the consent agenda with the exception noted. Any discussion?
So Don, you motioned, and who second?
Papillion,
Okay.
please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, item 2 is the claims report, and I only moved it, so James, if you had anything you wanted to draw to our attention in either the balance sheet, the projected versus actual, or expenses.
James Timmerman, treasurer for the agency. The only thing I'd like to bring really to your attention, and Jeff and I have really worked through this, is on the balance sheet. I put in an item for we have a liability. I don't know when it will come due for connection fees to the city of Omaha. And so in preparation for that, Jeff and I have kind of gone through a spreadsheet and trying to figure out exactly what it's going to be. So currently, my best estimate for right now is we'll at some point, right in this, as of 6/30, owe the city of Omaha about $800,000 originating from the fees we owe them from our own connection fees we collected. So that's probably the main thing that's a little bit different with this claims report. And I wanted to put that out there now because that's an issue that will come up with the.
We have any idea when that might come due?
Go ahead.
I'm not looking for months, but is it,
I think by the terms of our agreement, it's due at the time of connection, or if we start sending flow to Omaha.
so a couple years? Well, sooner than that.
It depends, yeah. I mean, we're going to be done with the eastern segment. If Oakleaf wants to start turning flow loose, they may ask for it then. I think
Yep.
that might be a point we can negotiate with them, but.
So I guess I'd say internally, we have a number kind of both for eastern and western segments in case it does come to that with the city of Omaha.
Are you reserving that cash?
Yes, I reserve that cash as well.
Yeah, I just had a quick question on the budget versus actuals. Like Midwest right away, we budgeted like 400 and some thousand, and we haven't spent any. Is there a reason for that?
That ended up being
New budget year.
budget year, and then, let's see, we're in consulting fees. Right here. Consulting fees, they have ended up being into phase 1 engineering design fees. some,
Okay.
And then other
I mean,
categories. It does kind of stick out there.
yeah, it's to the good for us, the agency, but I was just kind of caught my
Yeah.
eye. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Any other questions for James?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, and member members, I just add on the Omaha issue, I've had discussions this week, not on that topic, but with the city of Omaha on various other issues. I will tell you that, again, we do have the cash reserve. They're a very good partner. They're getting revenues off of us too here. So we're scheduling some time out for some longer term issues and how to expand the partnership with Omaha. But Jim said he was going to be here today, but he must have gotten busy. But we'll have a better report on that timing next month.
Okay, thanks. Motion to approve the claims report by Sarpy.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by LaVista, second by Springfield. Any discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, item 3 is Resolution 24, approving proposal for certain testing and mapping services from Subsurface Solutions, Jeff Thompson,
Chairman
Agency
Kelly,
Project Engineer.
Jeremy Kelly, agency member, mayors, Jeff Thompson. This item, as we're starting to complete the force main construction, there's a tracer wire, basically just a copper wire that follows the alignment of the pipe itself. I'd like to get all that tested to make sure that it's fully functional and working. We don't have the equipment to do that yet, which is actually the next item on the agenda. I think it'd be a good opportunity for us to be able to get it all mapped out, get it uploaded to the GIS database so that it's available to the development community, and we know where our infrastructure's at, and make sure that everything's working and fully tested.
Okay. Questions for Jeff? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was
That's
reading.
fine.
Is this a company that we've got to, do we have to go to a subcontractor on this to do the testing, or?
Well, they provide or will be purchasing the equipment from them, and they're actually selling most of the equipment that our contractors and subcontractors use to be able to locate this stuff in the field. So I did not solicit bids for this. This is the same company that I used when I worked in Papillion, and they provide, the state-of-the-art equipment that.
So when we purchase the equipment, that'll be the agency's?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Equipment?
The next line item would be a purchase of that equipment.
Right.
We would own and retain that, and then in the future, if someone were to call in to locate, if they're going to try to dig in a particular area that we're within, we would go out and put stakes in, use that equipment to identify the
So
location.
you would use that
Yes,
to
sir.
go
Jacob would.
out in the future? So item 3 is just the initial mapping of everything?
That's right. That's for this company to go out and utilize their own equipment to test it all kind of independently, third party, make sure it all works. We get it turned over to us. We know it works, and then we have our own equipment in the next item to be able to go out and do that in the
I
future.
understand it now, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a motion by Gretna. Do I have a second?
Bellevue, it's fine.
Second by Bellevue. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, resolution 25 approves the proposal for certain wastewater and sewer line locating equipment related services from Subsurface Solutions. Jeff?
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, as I said in previous testimony, this item is for the actual physical purchase of our own equipment to be able to go out and locate our infrastructure if and when locates are called into 811. So
Questions?
be happy to answer any questions.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Levisis, second by Springfield. Any further discussion? Please vote. Okay, item
Yea,
5.
6, nays none, motion carried.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm in a hurry here. All right.
Thank you.
We need item 5 still? Okay, item 5, closed session. For the protection of the public interest, I move we go into executive session to discuss a legal issue in real estate. Can I get a second? Okay. Motion by Papillion, motion by Sarpy, second by Springfield, to go into executive session. Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, it's now 4:24. We're going to go into executive session where our discussion will be restricted to a legal issue in real estate.
We good? Are we good? We're back up? Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay. It's now 4:39. At 4:24, we went into executive session where our discussion was restricted to a legal issue in real estate. I need a motion to return to the regular session.
So moved. Bellevue?
Second Papillion.
Motion by Bellevue, second by Papillion. Please vote.
Yay, 6, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, our next meeting is August 23rd, 2023. All the agenda items having been addressed as published, the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency Board is adjourned.
Very good.
Hey, Bobby. I'm not the hot dog. Sunday?
It's really kind of Saturday. It helped.